What is it they say? Sky, believe in better. I'm not so sure actually with Sky Q. It's been a major headache to install in our new house. We moved house just last year and we have 4 mini boxes from Sky Q. We also have the main box, which is a 2 terabit UHD box, and it was just a nightmare to connect. Even the Sky engineers came and didn't know what to do. These guys are professionally trained. They hadn't got a clue how to get it working. So I thought to myself, right, we don't get Virgin around here. I don't really want to be streaming stuff on smart TVs. I really like the content Sky gives, watch a lot of sport. So I basically installed it myself. So the first video showed one of these old Sky booster boxes being connected to the main router in our home. The problem we've got is the main router's in that kitchen situated over there. The main TV and Sky UHD box, the 2 terabit, is all the way over in the living room. So it had to be connected wirelessly, and that's where the problems arose to begin with. So what I did, I had an idea. I thought with this booster box, it kind of creates its own Sky hotspot. So what I did was, via Ethernet, is plugged it into the main router in this cupboard here. So that's the main BT router right there. And this is one of the mini discs that you get with the whole home mesh system from BT. We have 5 in our home. So the main one has to connect to the main router. And that basically is the first start of your boost. Ignore that, that's an O2 booster box. But this is silly really, this cupboard here, this is where our main internet comes in, as you can see just there. So this is where the journey begins really with the booster box. Go check out the previous video. In this video, we don't need the booster box. What we do need is BT Broadband, and we do need some of these discs. If you've got the following, follow the journey, and I will show you how I've had Sky Q connected flawlessly for the last 3 months by using this, and your main box. I'll show you where the journey starts in the living room. So plenty of these BT wireless discs dotted around the living room. That one kind of gives internet for our games room. And then if I go through to the living room, you don't see one yet. Pardon the mess, we have young kids. But let me just have a look around here. So we've got a disc situated there. And so if I show you this disc, it's another BT disc, and basically Ethernet, this is where it starts, basically plugs into the back of the disc, and obviously it needs powering as well. And the cable runs down there and goes into the main Sky 2 terabit UHD box. And let me show you what it brings up on the menu here. Basically, it's creating that Sky hotspot. What you need to do is make sure your main box doesn't know your router address. Just basically reset your main box so that your main box is not connected up to the main actual router in your cupboard. It's actually just making its own hotspot, and I'll show you here. So if we go to network connection and network setup, you can see there. Now we're on BT, we're not on Sky, but at the moment, Sky thinks we have Sky as a broadband provider. So that is the important bit. Make sure your main UHD box is not paired with your main BT router. All you need to do is plug the disc into your main Sky box, and it'll find that. Sky 1 E4 F8. And then what happens then is that once you've got that paired up with your main UHD box, that's your hotspot created. And then on each of your Sky boxes, you've got this little button here. Then once that button is flashing, you'll need your remote control. First of all, you'll press your button on your nearest Sky Q Mini, which will be that button there. And then that'll flash and it'll pair with the main box. And then you get your remote, and I'll show you, if I just fire that up. And that should come on Sky Q. Flawless connection. There you go. So I use Logitech Harmonies around the house. One remote does it all. Stop making these actually, which is a big shame. We don't need apps, but they're there. And you can see Skybox is connected. The main connection is that Sky hotspot, like you can see there, which is quite cool. Now, it has a bit of a backup. You're probably thinking, where do the Sky Minis come into this? And there are certain boxes, Sky Q Mini boxes around the property where we absolutely boost the signal by plugging them directly into the mini boxes, which I'll show you. So once you've got the games room connected, the next closest box is the one in my daughter's room. So you hit that WPS button on that. That'll flash, that'll pair with the one in the games room. And as a double backup with this, we also have a disc as well, a BT disc, where the actual Sky Q Mini is hard routed via the Ethernet port on the rear of each. And that really gives it a boost. And previously, this box would drop out occasionally in my daughter's bedroom. And since plugging that in, the BT disc from the mesh, basically it doesn't do anything. It just keeps a solid connection. And there you go. And then if we go down to settings, you can see she's got all the apps. They just pop up straight away. And then you go to settings, and like before, you go across and to network setup. And there it is again, that little Sky hotspot we created from the disk that was connected to the main UHD 2 terabit box. So that's screen number 3, paired rock solid. There's one now in the main bedroom, the master bedroom, and there's one in the kitchen. Let's go have a look. 2 more screens to go. This is the one in the master bedroom. This is also a Sky Q Mini. And to the rear of the TV, that's where kind of the magic happens. Not only is the Sky Mini installed, we have a BT disc situated behind that. And it was installed professionally. I know it probably looks like, you know, there's a lot behind the screen, but actually there's no wires. You can't see any wires. So if I kind of come down here, so it's all been kind of bolted behind the TV, the Sky box, and also the BT disc. And I'll grab the remote, and then you'll be able to see for yourselves that we've got that little hotspot from Sky again. Got all the apps. Settings, it's just rock solid. It never fails, never drops out. And that was the main frustration with Sky. Also, let me show you a little menu thing you can do on here. Sky don't like you to know this, but I picked it up and I just want to share with you. So this is one of the kind of Sky basic remotes, as you will. And if you go down to the settings menu, so I'll hit the home button here on the Sky remote, and that brings up the options. And if you go down to settings, and whilst you're on the settings menu, on the remote, click 001. Hang on, let me do that properly. 001 and select. You bring up this installer menu. So you go down to settings, and whilst you're on settings, 001 and then select with that button there. And you get this little installer menu here where you can have a little play around. They're my settings, 40 megahertz, channel 44. I don't think that's default in fairness, so maybe you want to swap to that. And then you can factory reset your box, and you can also refresh your apps if they're not all popping up if you're only just setting up for the first time. There we go, that's the hidden installer menu. So dead simple, I'll show you again. Hit the home button on your remote, scroll down till you hit settings. See settings come up there. And then get your remote, my hands aren't that big, 001, and then select. And then you get the hidden menu. These settings should only be changed if instructed by Sky. Yeah, right. And in my Sky Q previous video, this mini box was the first box in the chain. And in this video, it's the last. So technically it's the 5th box and 4th mini. And it's in the kitchen. So the box is actually on a bracket, 10 quid from Amazon, I think it was. That bolts onto the back of your TV and the box just sits there. And never get any connectivity problems whatsoever. Just back off the screen here. I'll go down to the trusty apps one first. It's a good indicator if apps are there and they stream and they're flawless. It's a good indicator to tell you that you've got great connectivity. I must point out as well that our Wi-Fi here, the actual fastest that we can get in this house is only 70 meg. So our BT only goes up to 70 meg, and that's enough. I mean, it just streams fine and we get no buffering or anything. Last house, it was 900 meg. So we've taken a dip. Hopefully where we live now, we'll get with the times soon and get a bit faster. But to be fair, it's streaming CCTV. It's doing loads of stuff, our Wi-Fi, and it's all good. Network connection, you'll see again, little Sky hotspot. That's key, really. So just to go through the steps again, main UHD box in the living room connected to one of the BT discs. That creates that little Sky 1 E4 F8. Then you're using the WPS button on the main box to connect to the nearest box to the living room. That was our games room. That paired fine. Then we daisy chained onto my daughter's bedroom, but in the mix there, we put another BT disc that hardwired into the back of the Sky Mini box. Then from there, we went across to the master bedroom that had another disc connected Ethernet into the Sky Mini box just to boost it even further, because the kitchen where we are now is further away from everywhere, and just basically it's sending a good signal down here as well. So hopefully that's helped. Any questions, comment below. I'll try my best to answer all your Sky Q questions. Like I say, I'm not an engineer. We have had engineers to our property that just are basically, I'm not saying they're clueless, but they're clueless to the problem with the connectivity. The house is quite large. But again, you know, I've managed to solve it, and I've solved it by using the little Sky, little BT mini discs around the house. Now, if you've got broadband, say, I don't know, with another network provider, I'm sure any generic kind of mesh system is going to create the same kind of effect. I've not tried it, so that's not guaranteed. But what I can say is it works flawlessly with BT. And so there's the video. Like I say, questions below, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Always appreciate that. Share it with your mates, because I tell you what, if they've got Sky Q and they're having connectivity issues, they will love you for it. Have a great day, and thanks for looking.
From